Alright, today guys, we got a special one for you. We're going to do one of the most sought after weapons in all the world. The DeWalt drill. You know, you can load this bad boy with an 8 amp, 20 volt max battery. And she has some real torque behind her, you know. And we're sponsored by Milwaukee, by the way. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. Today we're going to do my own personal Zev OZ9.
Alright, is everybody ready?
No other mag. Where'd it go? Where's the mag? I'm at about 3,000 rounds through this gun, and it's held up pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I really like the steel coated or steel infused frame, and the trigger's a lot better. The porting also makes me shoot way better. So let's just go into depth about it and really talk about what sets this gun apart from a standard Glock or something else. All right, we good on the DeWalt angle, right? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start butt to tip on this one. Go from the back and go to the front. You know, we're being original here. And you know, what makes a Zev worth it, in your opinion? I would say, to me, when you add a ported barrel, you know, most people will get a Glock 19 or a Glock 45 and they'll toss on the Radian Ramjet afterburner combo and they'll add a little length to their everyday carry or whatever. And that's awesome and all, but porting actually does the same thing, if not sometimes better. And you don't add the added weight, you don't get the added length. You get everything in the same package, but now you get ports on top of the barrel and everything's more integrated than kind of by itself. So that's one good thing I like. The Zev grip modules are a lot easier to mess with. You pop this one pin and you can kind of change out all the stuff in the inside and make it a compact if you don't like the full-size grip, or you can change the slide up if you don't like the Hypercomp anymore. You can get, you know, a compact slide or full-size slide with threaded barrel, and you can, you know, kind of customize it a little more than your just traditional Glock. I will say the slides on these are just freaking awesome in comparison to a normal Glock. You got a lot more serrations and cool looking features in it versus a Glock that's just kind of boring, you know. Most people, they just get kind of bored with a normal Glock. And also, we're at about 2,000 rounds on this gun. You know, I've shot it a bunch. I had a few friends shoot a bunch through it, and they all tend to love it just as much as I do. And after 2,000 rounds, I think I've had one stovepipe, and it was in the first like 200 or 300 rounds, I would say. And I've ran steel case, aluminum case, all kinds of brass, cheap, more expensive stuff, hollow points. It's just, it's a little dirty, you know? I really do need to clean it, but I'm kind of refusing to clean it until she just needs it. She just won't function no more. All right, like I said earlier, ported versus compensated. You get a lot more, I mean, a lot less weight on a ported build. I personally think this is just as flat, if not flatter, than the afterburner. I also had a Staccato C2 with V8 porting, and it still wasn't as flat as this gun. For whatever reason, this gun just shoots damn good, and it's very flat. Keeps your recoil really small, you know. If you look real close, you can see that the front sight is actually attached to the barrel and not the slide, which actually comes for better follow-up shots. You do a lot more with that. Can sight it in a lot quicker. I mean, that's if you're using the iron sights. You see I have the red dot up here. I went with a Holosun 509T specifically because I wanted a closed emitter in case of rain or fog, or you get in a mud or something, dirt gets in that little emitter, and then now your red dot's all clunked up. Don't want that. And this sight has been awesome for me. You know, I think I went with the Dauntless Engineering plate on this gun. They make one of the only plates that fits the Zev so well. So yeah, that's about it on the top side of it. like I said, this versus a standard Glock, you can make a standard Glock look like this, or because this, you know, slide takes Gen 5 internals, I can easily place new standard Glock internals in it, and that's barrel included. Or I could just swap out to a Gen 5 slide or a normal Glock slide. And yeah, so basically it is just still a Glock. It's just for 1,700 bucks, it better be a nice Glock, you know. And I really do think it's worth it. I got mine for a little less used, but all in all, I will say this gun has held up well. I use it as an everyday carry, or I throw it on my belt and can use it there too, and easily justifies as a good duty weapon. That's why I kind of like a dual gun that can service both purposes, because once you start putting a lot of rounds on one gun, kind of get used to that trigger and that gun. Drip inside. If you're liking this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We definitely appreciate your opinions, your likes, and your subscribes, and your notifications, and your comments, and whatever. We love you. So, okay, also with the ported barrel, you don't get as much length. You know, you don't have to add a whole compensator on here that makes it a 17 size. This still is it's actually the Hypercomp X model, which has that 17 round full size grip. I wanted it to vary and be able to fit all positions pretty well. And so far it's done that very good. Like I said, I'm a little over 2,000 rounds on this gun, and it's truly just holding up well. It's one of my favorites. I'm finally getting used to the trigger. I'm finally starting to understand where the reset is exactly, and getting back to that fully prepped wall is important for accurate follow-up shots. A better trigger will definitely help you with that. If you got some play and some slack in it, it definitely kind of sucks. The ports actually face up, so all the gases go straight up, which at night can sometimes kind of get in your way if you're trying to shoot fast at the same target. You do have to move over a little bit to kind of get away from the gases and the brightness that comes off of it. And honestly, it makes it a lot easier to clean too, because when you have a compensator on the gun, you have to then take the compensator off to take it apart. And you know, ported and compensated guns tend to run a lot more dirty and goopy, and they just back up a little easier. Done with the slide just about now. I would say the grips on these is one of the things that really drew me to the gun. The easy customization, that's one thing. The way they're textured, they're awesomely textured. I feel like you don't have to go get aftermarket stippling job because it's stippled pretty well. The mag release does not stick out too much. It sticks out just enough in the front to where the back is still comfortable for your grip and you're not always dropping the mag really easy. Which definitely makes it, you know, easier to use. One thing I didn't mention about the slide earlier is it does have an RMR cut up top, so it's usually standardly cut for an RMR, but you can get these plates to put pretty much whatever optic you want. It does have, Zev does have a patented steel receiver on these grips, so it does have steel within the receiver group, which makes it really nice. So it's like steel framed with, you know, a plastic overlay, I would say, with good texture and everything, like I said earlier. That single takedown pin, you can see it right there behind the light. That's what, like I said earlier, makes it really easy to take apart and, you know, put new trigger in, put new whatever in, really, whatever the hell you want to put in it. But main thing, guys, on this lower, you gotta have a light. We talked about this in the EDC video. This is the gun that I EDC, so you've already seen it before on the channel. Light is gonna be very important. The only advice that I will say about the Streamlight TLR series in general is they aren't the best underwater from what I've read. Some people have had good experiences, some people haven't. Some just dud out when you get them wet for too long, and that can be a bad thing if, you know, the world ends and you really need your gun to work at all times in all situations. So I'll maybe changing that out to the Surefire Compact Light soon enough. Really try that one out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, so if they're any better or any worse, or maybe you've had experiences with them. Last thing I will say about this grip is it does have this awesome mag well on it, so if you reload, just kind of, you don't really have to direct it as much, but it makes it for a bigger hole. Bigger holes are always nice for easier access, if you know what I mean. Overall, guys, this gun has been great to me. Will the Glock do the same thing? Yes, definitely. I mean, you can't beat Glocks. This just gets you into easier use things. So like I said, that porting in the barrel is going to make your follow-up shots a lot faster. The grip texture makes you to where you do not have to go out and spend extra money to get it stippled. Magwell is awesome. Better trigger for a duty gun. This trigger is awesome. I wouldn't say it's the best trigger in the world, but if you guys can see, it's first wall, and then a little creep, boom. So I'll do that one more time. First, oh, a little too fast on that one. Little creep, and then boom. So overall, it's a pretty damn good trigger. Like I said, you don't want a hair trigger on your duty gun or your everyday carry because you don't want to shoot your PP off. I would say overall, if you have the money to go ahead and acquire a Zev, definitely do it. There's no reason you shouldn't. You know, they look better than Glock's stock. You can still use common Glock parts on it, so that's a big thing. I mean, some are very specific. The older model Zevs only use Gen 3 stuff, which might be harder to find in today's world. And then again, maybe not, who knows. But yeah, guys, overall, this is one of my favorite handguns, and when I get to about 5,000 rounds, I'll do another review video where we just torture test and beat it up a little bit and really just show what it can do on the range. I just wanted to kind of show you guys my thoughts and opinions on it as of right now. And as of right now, she will be the one that carries me through all this training experience. I do have other guns that I will be showing, a bunch of other handguns and stuff, but for now, this is all reliable. And like I said, this ain't your Grandpappy's Glicky.